with our first topic today. We got some breaking news out of the NFL. So on Monday, the contract extension deadline passed. Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs did not come to terms on a multi-year agreement with their teams. Now, a lot of questions when you hear this, guys. So they've been offered the franchise tag, and this is different from Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard signed his franchise tag. He will be playing for $10.1 million. The franchise tag for running backs this year is $10.1 million.
Got it.
So that's the only option Barkley and Jacobs have to play this season is to sign that franchise tag for 10.1. Now, they haven't signed it, which means they will not be fined for any practices or games or any meetings. They will not be fined for any of those things. Now, this is different from what we've seen in the past with holdouts and guys getting fined every week. And this is going to be a little different here. Both of these guys are going to be unrestricted free agents after this season, so they're going to be able to move around next year. Let's start with Barkley here, boys. Saquon Barkley is 26 years old. He was running back 5 last year in full PPR fantasy scoring. He's coming off a career high, 1,312 rushing yards. Career high, boys.
Damn.
He has said that sitting out this season is a conversation to be had. Just last year, guys, the Giants reached the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and they won a wild card game. This team is on the up. They just got Darren Waller. Max, what's going to happen here with Barkley and the Giants?
Barkley, this holdout, I understand, guys. I understand that you want more money. I understand that you want stability and you want to make sure that you're locked in, and so you could put everything on the field in the city that you sign. Okay. But I'm going to be the guy to say, how selfish is it when you just explained, Cobrizi, that New York, you guys are on the up. You signed some big time players. You signed Danny Dimes to a big time deal.
Dookie Danny Jones.
And now you are the face. I would say he's the face of the Giants. Okay. So I understand being the face of the Giants, he should be getting paid more. But to make your team better, they don't pay you more. They have to get other players around you because it's an 11-on-11 game. It's not a 1v1 game. It's 11-on-11. So, Saquon, look yourself in the mirror and think about this. Think about, are you doing this for the team or are you doing this for yourself? I find it selfish. And if he holds out for the entire season, the Giants, I'm telling you right now, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs without Saquon Barkley. I don't even know who's there. Matt Breida might be the backup. Zach, what's your thoughts on this situation with Saquon?
Saquon, I think it's really dumb that he's sitting out, not signing that contract. Besides last year, he really hasn't done much. I don't know the stats off the top of my head. I know he had quite a few injuries. Is this his 4th or is his 5th year in the league?
It's his 4th or 5th, maybe 5th. I'll look it up, but
and then
one season he was completely out, if I'm not mistaken, from the ACL. So
I want to say his rookie year he had over 1,300 rushing yards also. So he came.
Yeah, I remember his rookie year. Yeah, his rookie year was pretty big. And then you got to think of the average lifespan of the running back. Obviously, $10 million. That's hard to just. It's easy. Fucking $10 million in 1 year.
Yeah.
Take it.
It's a lot of money.
You're not going to get that from anyone else. Any other team? No other team wants you.
I understand you wanting a multi-year deal, but 10.1 million is a lot of money.
And what's multi-year? Like what are teams giving running backs for multi-year now? 2-3 years? I bet they're not getting more than 4.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're probably not going to be getting more than 10 million a year.
Yeah.
You got it. I mean, it sucks with the NFL how they distribute their money per position, but you have to know, and this is what your agent should be probably telling you. You have to know how much or what percentage of the salary cap that they give to each position. Like
totally.
Like Danny Dimes, he shouldn't have probably got that. However many freaking $1 million he gets a year, 40 million a year. But that's because in the NFL, that's how much of money gets put towards quarterbacks. Like,
You're right.
because they
Yeah.
bring in the money with how, whatever marketing things and whatnot go into the NFL with all that. But like, come on, Saquon, just sign the contract. I mean, it's $10 million. All of us would be dying for that in 1 year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doing whatever, yeah, doing a
Yeah.
lot of gruesome things for 10 million in a year.
Yeah.
But
including
yes,
getting tackled by a 300-pounder.
Yeah, I mean, I could retire
I'll
on
take
$10
it.
million. I could
Yeah.
I could honestly retire
Easy.
on $10 million.
Easy.
Saquon has played 5 seasons in the NFL. Started off with 1,300 rushing yards. Came back with another 1,000 yards in his sophomore year rushing yards, and then last year had a career high of 1,312 rushing yards. Excuse me, tickle in my throat, boys. Let's move on though to Josh Jacobs, and he's 25 years old, a year younger than Barkley. He was running back 3 last year for you, Max. I know he was on your team. He was the rushing king. He had 1,653 rushing yards. He led the league also in scrimmage yards with over 2,000, and he led the league in touches with 393. He had career highs in carries, rushing yards per attempt, receiving yards, touches, and total scrimmage yards. He reportedly won't show up for training camp. Zach, do you see a deal getting done here for Josh Jacobs and Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think the Raiders need him more than he needs the Raiders. So yeah, I think it's smart on his part, especially because he has been killing it ever since he got in the league. I like Josh Jacobs.
Oh yeah.
He's someone that I would want. I would much rather have Josh Jacobs than Saquon Barkley on my team.
Oh.
So him holding out, I think it's a good idea for him. I do think a contract will come before the start of the season.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Max, I know you are sitting here right now considering keeping Josh Jacobs.
Oh yeah.
What is this news? How does this news affect you?
Oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating being the general manager of your fantasy football team, and Josh Jacobs probably being the guy I already said, well, he's a keeper. I'm keeping him on my team. But now you find out that this guy might be sitting out the entire. Before I jump into fantasy football talk, okay, I gotta bring this up. It's a little bit different than the Saquon Barkley case because the Raiders have they gotten better? Did they get better?
No.
Jimmy G?
Yeah, Jimmy G.
Zach's boy, Jimmy G. Zach's boy.
He's a capable quarterback. He's gone to multiple NFC championships. Was Derek Carr done?
Let's not get carried away on Jimmy G. We'll have plenty of time to talk about him during the season, Zach. All right, let's keep our mind on Josh Jacobs. All right. So Josh Jacobs is a part of a team that sucks. They need him. So yes, I find that he deserves it, especially after a season like he did. He has produced every single season he has played. Okay. He is a star running back. And I think that he deserves the contract a little bit more than Saquon. I agree with you on that one, Zach. Okay. Because if you want a star running back on your team, on a team that we just said it, they're not going to be basically improved, then you got to sign the guy. So, but really quick about fantasy football, this is what I had to ask both of you now, Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. Go back to the past of other players that held out. I'm thinking of 2 players off the top of my head, and that includes Le'Veon Queeth Bell and Antonio, one of the biggest douchebags in the league, Brown. Okay,
they're 2 favorite players.
Two different positions, same team. They were both part of Pittsburgh, and then they held out. Le'Veon Bell, when he held out for that entire season, he went and would go party down in Miami, showed everyone I'm having a good time. I'm still getting my squats in. I'm still getting my training in. What happened after he signed with another team? He was done. Nobody. He was a queef the rest of the years in the league. Antonio Brown, obviously, he lost his mind. He lost it. So think about this, Saquon and Josh Jacobs. Keep your mind on football. And good things are going to happen. Okay, you'll make more money from playing rather than sitting out. Okay, you'll more things are gonna happen for you. Okay, so that's all I got to say. Josh Jacobs, please play. My fantasy team needs you, and I love watching you. He's a great guy, great team, or great player.
We'll finish this here with this. Josh Jacobs, over 1,650 rushing yards, over 2,050 scrimmage yards last year. Like Zach said, has been getting it done every year. Max, if he signs a contract, is he a keeper?
Easily. If he doesn't, I'm still thinking about it.
So you'd be willing to keep him and not know if what's going to happen. The keeper deadline is here. He has not signed a contract. You're willing to still keep him.
Oh man, it depends on how long. Like, I gotta keep an eye on the situation. I would go all the way down to the deadline to figure that out because, hey, everyone, I had Le'Veon Bell on my team. I decided, hey, you know what? I think that they'll sign him, and then he sat out the entire season. That fucked me. Sorry for the language. I've been cussing a lot on this show, but that definitely messed up my season. I was queef of the year that season.
Were you the queef or the second queef in command?
I might have been queef in command, but still, I was in the queef bowl, and that was because of freaking Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Max. If he isn't signed by that keeper deadline, I probably wouldn't. Don't go through that again.
God.
It's not worth it. So we already brought this up, people, that you can't wait for the guy to come. You can't wait for the guy. If he's even injured, like, oh, he's going to be back in 4 to 6 weeks. You can't keep that. That might be 4 to 6 losses. Honestly, football is so
your season's over.
Your season's done. You got to get those wins right off the bat. So I'll be thinking about it, boys.